secret. It's something that hasn't really existed for a long time now, because no matter what we say, do, or even think, someone is always collecting data about us. Everyone knows this, right? With the devices we all carry around these days. And the data they collect isn't just used for commercial purposes, but can actually be gathered and used for warfare. That's the story of undersea cables, the real battleground of technology. Geopolitical communications. This method has been used to tap into information and wage war for a long time now. Some call the underwater world beautiful, even magical. So if you want to dive in Thailand with sharks or help with underwater cable work, like in this video, you must learn first. I'm not saying go mess with cables. You really have to study. If you're interested in diving but still thinking, how do I start? Who should I learn with? Pakwang from Abnormal, he's actually my real older brother, is a certified instructor, officially an SSI instructor. He offers courses from beginner all the way to advanced, and there are even private courses available. Pakwang wanted me to let you know to book quickly because there's a long waiting list. He's really good at what he does. So if you're interested in learning to dive, don't. You can contact him through the Money Monster channel or reach out directly via line. Just add Rocker Diver. The name's written nice and big. And if anyone wants to support the Money Monster channel, here's today's QR code. Thank you so much. Superpowers have ways to not only destroy, but also extract information from the other side, operating under the principle of taking everything and destroying everything, using undersea cables. If we compare Earth to a human body, then these undersea cables that are woven all around the world are really no different from blood vessels that connect one landmass to another. Every day, financial transaction data alone, just financial data, flows through undersea cables at a value of over $10 trillion. This is the physical network of the internet, or the true body of the internet. The internet isn't floating in the air. 95% of data travels through undersea cables. To put it simply, undersea cables are the central nervous system of life in the modern world. Everything, education, hospitals, social welfare, depends on them. Finance and the economy, these are the backbone of the world's communication technology. So today, if undersea cables were ever completely cut off, if there were no internet, any modern city would be totally paralyzed. Now, let me tell you about when these undersea cables actually started. In the early days, undersea cables were just copper wires stretched across the Atlantic Ocean, starting back in the year 1858. Back then, they had copper wires running across the Atlantic, right? And that's how they transmitted information. It took about 18 hours just to send a message from one side to the other. But hey, that was still better than nothing. And that very first cable, the one made from copper, actually broke within just 3 weeks. But the evolution of undersea cables didn't stop there. In fact, that was just the beginning, because there were people who revolutionized the creation of undersea cables to connect land to land with many more cables after that. That's how it eventually became possible to connect web pages that were hosted on different continents and in different countries. Eventually, this form of communication got its official name, the Internet. As we speak right now, the most powerful undersea cables in the world can currently transmit up to 224 terabytes per second. And every 2 to 3 years, the amount of data sent through these undersea cables continues to double in capacity. That's right, every 2 to 3 years. And I think one sign that a war is about to break out, or is coming, is that we won't have internet access, or the internet will be spotty and keep cutting in and out. Because what's happening right now is a game of competition, cutting undersea cables. They're competing to cut the enemy's undersea cables, which is considered a direct security threat. This is known as Cable War 2.0. For example, take the case of the undersea cables near Taiwan. According to AP reports, these undersea cables close to Taiwan have been cut a total of 27 times, supposedly by coincidence. No one can be caught red-handed, and no one knows who did it. Nikki even reported that Taiwan's internet is under threat, especially from China. But China has come out and said, nope, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. It probably broke because of fishing boats. They went and got involved, which was basically a competition to cut the other side's cables. You could say it was a straightforward attack tactic during the Cold War. But sabotage of undersea cables wasn't just a one-option thing. It's not just about cutting them and being done with it. You could do all sorts of things. Cut them, strip them, modify them, swap parts, secretly attach something to the other side's cable, intercept and extract information, you name it. These were all strategies the British military used. Intercepting information from Germany during World War I? Well, like I said, cutting undersea cables and eavesdropping was a pretty straightforward tactic. It was simple, so it's not like the Germans didn't know the British were listening in or doing things like this. The Germans knew for sure they were being spied on, so they solved the problem by sending information in extremely complex secret codes. Really complicated stuff. But the British at that time were exceptionally skilled and resourceful. They were able to successfully and completely decipher the secret codes that Germany created. And the information the British obtained, which eventually helped them achieve a decisive victory in the conflict, was that they discovered Germany was planning to cooperate with Mexico to attack the United States. This was one of the primary reasons the United States was ultimately drawn directly into the war. And back then, the United States, even though it wasn't really a major power yet, was more like an energetic teenager. The US was the country that took innovation in eavesdropping, wiretapping, and enemy data collection to a whole new high-tech level. Eventually, President Harry Truman established a secret agency called the National Security Agency, or NSA, whose job was to intercept and analyze the information they could extract from enemies. The government of this superpower nation made intercepting information from opposing countries one of its top priorities. Wiretapping and data interception became extremely important, one of the highest priorities, ever since the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union. This practice kept evolving over time. The ability to secretly intercept information could even lead to disasters and sabotage. It was extremely severe. In fact, it was this very wiretapping that led to the 9/11 World Trade Center disaster. After the 9/11 attacks happened, everyone around the world was shocked, especially people in the United States. Until the United States passed this law, the Patriot Act. To explain it in simpler terms, what exactly is this law? Actually, it's an incredibly extensive and complex piece of legislation. It allows the government to legally monitor communications, intervene in private affairs, and secretly access the personal information of its citizens, all under the claim of preventing future terrorist attacks, like what happened on 9/11. President George W. Bush officially signed this controversial bill into law. He approved this law very quickly on October 26, 2001. Following those events, this "let us see your data" law kept encountering significant protests from the general public. Back to undersea cables. Right now, there are approximately 500 undersea cables around the world, stretching a total distance of about 1.4 million kilometers, which is enough to circle the entire globe multiple times. These cables carry vast amounts of digital data back and forth, sometimes directly and sometimes with interception or eavesdropping and so on. So who actually owns or dominates the infrastructure known as undersea cables? Take a guess. Who do you think it is? You might say the United States, and you'd be right, but not entirely. At the very least, it's the United States and its allies. According to data from telegeography, 85% of the undersea cable network belongs to the United States. Europe and Japan are also in on it, forming a sort of trio of strong allies. But then, in 2008, China jumped into the undersea cable infrastructure game as well. China came in with a company called Huawei Marine Networks, backed by massive support from the Chinese government. Money, ships, you name it. And these ships that transport and lay the cables have to be huge, but China has no problem building ships of that size. After that, China succeeded by laying this cable, called the Peace Cable, which stretches 15,500 miles and was built with an investment of $425 million. It connects internet services for 12 countries across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Naturally, the United States was not happy at all about someone else, especially China, wanting to compete in building this kind of infrastructure. So in 2019, Donald Trump decided to take action. Huawei Marine Network was formed, and concerns grew that China used it for spying. Everyone has undersea cables for spying. China wasn't the first, historically. So Huawei solved this by saying, okay, we won't do it, and rebranded as HMN Tech. The abbreviation makes it clear it's Huawei Marine Network, though few knew the company before. Regarding the Chinese cable, of course it's growing fast, no joke. So now there are basically two camps, the Chinese side and the American side, both building undersea cables. If you ask who's bigger right now, it's still America. The US still has a much larger undersea cable infrastructure, but China is building its own network, which is gradually getting bigger too. The important thing is that these two camps definitely don't connect with each other. Each side is doing its own thing. And then there's Russia, which is also working on building its own undersea cables. It's called the Polar Express Network. Building infrastructure or undersea cable networks has become a key KPI, a major measure of success for world superpower governments. To be considered successful, they need to be able to build strong undersea network infrastructure. This has created uncertainty in the world because we really don't know. The information they get from us, from each other, from others, from enemies, whether it will lead to major sabotage, or when, how much, or at what point, no one knows. But what is certain is that it's impossible that they would invest so much effort and money to collect and store all this information and then not use it to attack each other or cause any sabotage at all. Otherwise, why would they go to such lengths?